who they thought's the best goaltender in the National Hockey League, I'm sure you'd come up with a bunch of different answers. But if you were to ask those same hockey fans who they think is the dirtiest goaltender in the league, there'd be no arguments. For the answer would be New York goaltender Billy Smith. Let's go to the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. He dances on skates, protecting his goal. His goalie stick is his best friend. He makes his living by blocking shots fired at him at 100 miles an hour. This area, known as the crease, is where Billy Smith, goaltender for the Islanders, makes his home. Some people say he's the dirtiest player in the history of hockey. Billy Smith says, hey, this is where I make my living. Anyone who dares to challenge Billy Smith in the crease will pay the price.
Now, if the referees aren't going to call it and the league is not going to do something about it, then you've got to put fear of the God in the player that if he's going to run into you or run over you in the net, there's a possibility that he's going to get hurt as well as me. So it just boils down to somebody's going to end up getting hurt, and I cross my fingers that it's not me.
One of the many players who has felt the wrath of Billy Smith's stick is Lindy Ruff of the Buffalo Sabres. In this incident in 1980, the butt end of the stick of Billy Smith was put to the head of Ruff.
You know, the stick swinging has got to go. I could have lost an eye in my incident, and, you know, you lose a lot of respect there. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, he's a hell of a goalie. But the manner he swings his switch, his stick is, you know, something to be desired.
For the 14 years that he has played in the National Hockey League, Billy Smith has often been the #1 target of the opposition. Players have gone right at him. Those who have battled with Smith have encountered the most penalized goaltender in the history of hockey. If you're going to battle Billy Smith, you can't just get mad. You got to be ready to get even.
Yeah, he is a dirty hockey player, and I think that everybody realizes that. But, you know, Billy Smith, he seems to get away with that type of thing, and that seems to be what gets him going. And if that's what has to get you going, then you got to do it what you have to do.
You know, I had two tough brothers. When they played hockey, they were all obviously aggressors, the tough guys, and I always enjoyed it. I enjoy getting out there, mixing it up, getting in the odd fight. It's exciting.
One of hockey's most explosive moments occurred when Dave Tiger Williams challenged Billy Smith. Smith had slashed Williams. Williams battled right back. When you see Billy Smith on the ice, you better be ready.
As soon as you see that sweater and you see those beady little eyes behind that mask, you know, red alert comes on.
Watching the top of the screen in this sequence, one can see how Billy Smith will go out of his way to attract the attention of anyone who would dare to challenge him in the crease. As he approaches the twilight of his career, Billy Smith feels that at long last, people can appreciate the way he rules his domain.
I honestly feel our people are more educated now, too, and they see all the abuse going on in the net. And now they kind of look forward. They say, hey, if a guy goes through the net, Smith is going to do something. And
Wait a minute. Are you asking for sympathy for abuse in the net?
No,
Billy Smith,
no,
come
no,
on,
no, no.
I read the papers. You're the dirtiest player in hockey.
Sometimes I think I am.
4 Stanley Cup banners hang in testimony to the excellence of Smith and the Islanders. In '83, they won their 4th consecutive Stanley Cup, defeating Wayne Gretzky. Smith was booed for using his stick on the Great One. Edmonton coach Glenn Sather and their captain Wayne Gretzky had been outfoxed by Billy Smith.
You know, Glenn tried to throw him off by saying some things in the paper. We tried to say some things about him in the paper, and as it turned out, it affected our hockey club, and he just laughed at it and played even better.
Since his first day in the NHL, people have battled and cursed Smith. They've also called him what he is, a winner. If the end of his era is near, Billy Smith isn't ready.
It's something I do well. It was a gift I was given. And I'm not about just to throw it away just because, you know, there are younger players coming up. And as long as I'm playing well, then I'll keep playing.
Battling Billy Smith, 14 years of excellence.